Smell us now, lady.
Welcome to MeatEater Trivia.
MeatEater Podcast.
Welcome to MeatEater Radio Live. It's 11 a.m. Mountain Time on December 19th, and we're live from MeatEater HQ in Bozeman, Montana. I'm your host, Spencer Newharth, joined today by Ryan Callahan and Giannis Putelis. On today's show, we'll discuss the top 3 Christmas gifts we've ever received. Then, we'll find out how much Cal and Giannis know about their fellow hunters and anglers with a game of meat pole. And finally, we'll do 1 minute fishing with a special guest. Yanni, Cal, can I be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas? Has anyone done that to you yet?
Multiple people have, but I'll take it anyways.
That's an old Chris Berman line. Do you know who Chris Berman is?
The Berminator?
Yes, I do know who Chris Berman is. The fastest minute in football, baby.
Exactly,
right?
Yanni.
Let's
Proud
go.
of you for knowing that. He'll always, in the holiday season, he's the first to wish you a happy Halloween. He's the last to wish you a happy New Year. I like that gimmick that he has.
Oh, I do too. What I like about him too is that where everybody else in his career, or what am I trying to say?
Like sportscasters,
Yeah.
sports journalists in that universe.
In that universe,
Very sharp, I imagine.
sharply dressed, extremely expensive looking suits, and that dude rolls in like
Yes.
I'm like I can relate to him because I can probably go. I can afford that same suit he's wearing, man.
He
And-
looks like he smells like meat and alcohol at all times.
Yeah, you know that SNL skit, where the boys would sit around talking about the Bears.
Oh, yeah.
He could roll right into that. I'm
could.
surprised they never tapped him, actually, to do that skit with them.
Chris Berman, he's still around. He still does that.
Yeah, crushing it.
Cal, what are you doing? What is that?
Oh, what is
I
that?
have no idea what that is.
Sounds like sleigh bells.
It does sound like sleigh bells.
Is it
Why
sleigh
could there
bells?
be?
Oh my God!
Santa!
What is this? We've
Santa!
Hello, boys and girls. Have you been good or bad this year?
Oh,
we are
boy.
going to find out, ladies and gentlemen, in our studio, a special guest.
Oh
Santa
my
Claus.
gosh!
From the North Pole
You smell, Santa.
with lots of gifts for all the good little boys and girls.
Santa's going to talk into his microphone. He has 2 game bags that are
Yes.
very bloody.
You have a lot of explaining to do, being as the guy that rolls around with a bunch of reindeer, and why you have bloody game bags.
This is the blood of mule deer and white-tailed deer. I wouldn't harm a reindeer. They're incredibly important to my operation.
So Santa has 2 white game bags that have some old blood on them
And chunks of meat, kind of.
and chunks of meat. Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I missed that. These have not got a proper washing yet, have they, Santa?
No.
Do they not
Okay.
have bleach at the North Pole? I
It
find
was
that
a
hard to
busy
believe.
fall, and then I roll right into this thing. This gig keeps me real busy.
So Santa has brought with him, it looks like, some gifts, as well as a few guests. We have Brody Henderson and Corey Calkins, who just appeared in the studio, and I believe Santa is now going to pass out some gifts, and we don't know who they're from.
Yes, that's right. The elves have been hard at work. This one is for Spencer Newhart,
Oh, okay.
today's host.
So this, I believe, is probably the biggest gift in your game bag. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Well, those are bottomless games.
But is it the heaviest?
Bottomless game bag.
Is it the heaviest?
Now, in Santa's experience, is it the size of the gift that matters?
Oh, it's just what's inside.
Oh,
And
okay.
Cold
love
hard
that.
cash fits in a tiny little envelope.
the it's wrapped in Grinch paper, and then okay, here, look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God.
It has my name on it with a piece of paper that looks like it was written something about FedEx returns, and underneath that it has Corinne's name.
Which gives away the whole bit.
This is a real whodunit.
The whole bit. Okay.
Well, no, we don't know necessarily if that was from Corinne. It maybe used to be for Corinne.
Right, re-gift.
That would be an interesting twist.
Did Santa bring a pocket knife, or I mean, on the
Maybe it's a pocket knife in there.
I don't have pockets in this cheaply
I don't think
made
you can be a
suit.
MeatEater employee and not carry a pocket knife.
Oh,
Wow.
will you look
Oh,
at
wow.
that?
I have just opened my gift to reveal a couple of what would you'd call slides, like the sandal slides, but instead they are largemouth bass.
Those are going to make some great camp shoes there.
This is
Spencer.
beautiful.
Hot tub shoes, maybe.
Hot tub shoes, they could be.
How thoughtful.
What if me and Corinne didn't wear the same size shoes, whoever gave this gift? Then what?
They bear an uncanny resemblance to that singing bass that you have outside of your office.
Yeah, the Billy Largemouth Bass. I'll have you know I wear size 14 boots, so I don't know if these are going to fit me or not. They may have
God,
to
I
just
feel
go
bad for
to-
your wife.
They may
Like,
have
is
to
this
go-
what Christmas morning is all the time? It's like, well, it's not exactly what.
These are beautiful. I
Yeah.
love them.
There you go. Say
This-
thank you.
I appreciate whoever gave me this. Now, here's what happened. I had to tell everyone who they needed to bring their gifts for, so I know who this came from. The other folks can guess, though, who gave me this gift. Does anyone know?
Corinne.
Santa.
Not Corinne, not Santa, not Phil. Again, a couple largemouth bass slides.
Is it like
Corey Calkins.
what's our pool of people to pick from?
Everybody in
Anyone
this room.
Randall Williams.
Corey Calkins. Gave me. Thank you, Corey.
Good job, Corey.
This is a beautiful gift. I'll also have you know that when we talked about this segment, Corey said he was going to re-gift this in our upcoming all-company gift exchange. Is that still the plan?
Nope, those are yours now. I sure hope they fit. If not, you can put them on your hands and have them as a backup paddle for your canoe.
Oh, that's a good idea too. There we go. Thank you, Corey. That is a perfect gift exchange gift.
I think Shelby
at
will
MeatEater.
love to wear those.
Yes.
Yeah, there you
Yes,
go.
she will. All right, Santa has got out his next gift.
This next gift is for Ryan Cal Callahan.
All right.
Wow.
Whoa.
Ooh, got some weight to it.
Whoa. Is it a picture frame?
It's not a bathroom scale or something.
No.
That's always a great Christmas gift.
Oh, is it it's a butcher. It's a
Very
cutting
nice,
board.
nice cutting board. Wow. Awesome.
That looks homemade.
That looks great.
It better be homemade because there is a $25 limit on the cost of these gifts per the terms of our agreement.
Wow. Mhm.
Thanks for that reminder, Santa. It's
All
important.
right.
Santa.
And
Cheddar wurst from Matt's. That's good stuff. Right?
that kind of gives
okay.
away who the gifter was.
Well, I don't think
I mean,
that's
people
that way.
drive back and forth.
I mean, it
all the
wasn't Phil. I guess I would imagine this.
No,
Oh, okay.
but I know.
time. Oh, is it made?
Don't put me into a bucket, Spencer.
I didn't notice that till now.
I didn't know it was on.
on the brats that Cal received, it says processed for Brody Henderson.
I love it, Brody.
We've
Thank
solved
you.
the crime.
Is that your boy's mule deer?
Nope. That's the elk I shot last year.
Yeah.
Cleaning out the old freezer.
We now have
No,
one
I
of the
still got
Christmas
plenty of that
dogs.
stuff left.
We have the Christmas
My
dogs.
buddy makes those cutting boards.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Trace might have an upset
Tracy?
tummy later.
Oh,
He's been eating some of the dried meat from this bag.
That's what dogs do.
Giannis,
ooh.
this next
Thanks,
gift
Santa.
is for you.
Wow. Is that a candle?
It's got to be.
It feels like a small dish of some sort.
That looks like a man wrapped it. Is what I would guess.
A small dog bowl.
Something almost fell out of there.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I like it. It's a little kit of things that a man like myself might need.
Oh, like what?
Dr. Bronner's unscented, unscented organic magic balm for hands, face, and body. Duct tape. Super glue. And a lighter.
And a lighter that works.
Dang.
And the lighter's got a little hint, I think, maybe.
What's the hint?
Looks like a.
Can you see what's on it?
Oh, it's a tiki drink.
It's a
on
tiki
there.
drink. So I'm going to have to guess that my man Phil put this together for me.
Well, Giannis, you would be incorrect.
Oh, they threw me off.
What's your next guess?
God, Cal.
Yep.
Hey!
Merry Christmas. Yes, buddy. You're welcome.
Cal, are these things you found this morning in your junk drawer?
Took him out of his wilderness survival kit.
No, it's all brand new. I had to take the
No, it looks new.
super glue out of the packaging though to make it all fit together. But I don't like gifts for the most part, but this is This is a practical thing.
I'm with you.
You're not going to be like, oh, here's just extra stuff in the house.
Listen, my wife gets upset with me because I have a running list on my phone. You guys can, if you sneak into my phone, you might see your name might pop up because if during the course of the year, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, Santa really was interested in X, and I'll make a little note. And then when Christmas comes around, I give that gift, and it's from the heart.
Okay.
It's not because I had to give a gift, and it ends up being extra stuff in the house.
Well,
which
you've
I hate.
really hyped up whatever person is going to receive a gift from Yanni then this year.
Oh, how
What's nice
exciting.
too is like if this
I thought it through.
Okay.
makes it to Giannis's desk and sits there for the rest of the year, it's still a valuable thing to have.
Oh.
If
And
it
you can
makes
just
it as far
swipe
as
it back.
if it makes it as far as the truck and just sits there forever,
Better.
it's great.
Yeah. Let's just hope it doesn't wind up on the free table.
That would be rude.
What else does Santa have in his bloody game
Give it a couple
bags?
days.
This gift has the initial CC on it, which I understand to mean Corey Culkins.
Hot dog.
It's very hot in here.
Frosty's melting.
I'm dressed for the North Pole.
Santa, when you were a little kid, did you also laugh
Yes.
in that same
Yes, it
Yeah.
was much more disturbing before I reached puberty.
This is going to be
I
really
thought
difficult.
you just came out of the womb looking like that.
Well, I am an ancient being, I think, according to the
Oh.
lore.
I've got a couple of really good-looking books. I believe they're Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, well-
it looks like it's part of a series. I'm hoping there'll be more because I can see myself reading through these pretty quickly.
Are you a big D&D guy?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
So here's the thing, Corey.
Santa, you don't care to explain?
You're very modest about it, but I'm sure people know that you're a world-class hunting guide, Corey. I mean, everyone says how much they love to go out with you, but one thing you might not know about is a different kind of game. Those are mythical beasts. So if you ever want to expand your clientele, kind of add new skills to your set, I thought these books might help you track these,
Well,
these animals.
I have yet to slay
Phil,
a dragon.
Did you buy these books for my friend Corey, or were they just on your shelf and you gifted them
They feel new.
out of convenience?
They're crisp. I'm the first one to open them. Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome, Corey.
Now, he was dressed as a wizard for Halloween, so I can understand why someone would give you a D&D book.
True,
Are there wizards in D&D?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Big part of D&D.
That was a perfect gift then for Corey.
Yeah.
My kid's really into dragons at this point.
Well, I'm trying to indoctrinate Marshall, so please.
If you got yourself a dragon, you could fly into some landlocked public on
Oh,
it.
wow.
Ooh, drop into some BLM.
Yeah.
That's how
Yep.
Santa kills all his elk.
Never have to worry about having a Bic lighter on you.
What else is
This
Santa
next
got?
gift is for Phil Taylor, the engineer. Also known
kind.
as Phil the Engineer.
Right.
Santa?
Also known by his Christian name,
I have
Phil
a
the
very-
Engineer.
I have a very long list of names each winter, so it's important that I'm particular.
Yeah, a lot of Phil Taylors out there. I'll also have our listeners know that Santa has been in this suit and doing this voice for the entire hour leading up to the show.
What other voice would he do, Spencer?
That's right. Phil, we can't see what you're opening, so you got to give
Hold it up higher.
I have it on the camera.
Oh, it's the
yeah.
Phil cam.
It's a Star Wars puzzle. And look at this is great artwork.
Wow.
You've got
Oh
all-
my heavens, that's 2,000 pieces.
That's a big boy. You've got a lot of the films represented, including some of the prequels.
Oh.
This is fantastic. I have no idea who could have gotten this for me, because honestly, it could be any of you. I'm going to say it was Spencer Newharth.
It was not me.
Okay.
But I like that you thought it was me.
Was it Santa Claus?
Yes, indeed it was.
Oh, I got it from Santa himself. I'm so
Yes.
lucky.
Yes, when I realized how incredibly expensive Lego toys are, I switched gears and bought you a puzzle.
Oh, that's why that was on your mind this morning when you came into my office, Santa.
Yes, I thought I might have given it away by making casual chit-chat.
Not at all. I was caught off guard. Thank you so much. This is lovely.
Is 2,000 pieces big?
That's pretty big. I'd say 1,000 is kind of the average for
Okay.
like a weekend puzzle. 2,000. I mean, that'll keep me busy for a while.
That'll babysit your kids for a week.
That's
Much
a perfect
appreciated.
Santa gift.
Our next gift is for Brody Henderson.
Oh, isn't this wonderful?
Okay.
Oh, that's got some heft to it.
Does Santa get a gift?
Well,
He's going
we'll
deep
get
into
to
his
that.
endless
How many
game
more
bag.
you got in there? Oh,
It's cold.
oh, it's
Mm.
well, it came
Inside.
from the North Pole, Brody. Oh,
He's opening it very
look at that
slow.
fancy one.
It's a gift
I
wrapped
don't have
in
my
a gift.
spectacles on. Oh, it looks like
I can help you read.
some ducks.
Oh,
Very
Big
wonderful.
fatty ducks.
Some fatty ducks.
big fatty ducks.
I'm gonna guess, based on someone's recent schedule, it might have been Giannis Patelis.
Correct.
What are these ducks? Tell us about the ducks.
Well, I
in
want,
there.
yeah, you should open the plastic bag. That was just a way to transport them from my house to here. But they're extremely prime. Been
Yeah.
picked clean. They are ready for the cast iron skillet.
Shot him with one pellet in the head.
Yep.
Actually, I'm not that good of a shot, so the ones that were donated to me, I chose those to give to you that were shot by better
Now,
shooters.
what
than-
species
Oh, those do
we
look
got
good.
here?
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure that they're all 3 mallards. I think
Nice.
there's either 2 hens and a drake or 2 drakes and a hen.
Yeah.
So
Excellent. I do not
Santa's-
have any ducks in my freezer right now.
Santa's bloody game bags
That's
had
a good gift.
3 mallard ducks and mule deer.
I
sausage.
believe that gift exceeds the monetary limit
Oh wow.
by
If
a lot.
there were such a thing.
Uh-huh.
Right. If you could apply.
Yeah.
But
Priceless gifts, I
Yes.
think.
Yep.
Very good gift. That's
Thank
right.
you.
all right, you're welcome.
We
Now,
have one gift left.
This last gift is addressed to Randall, which is a name I've never seen before.
Oh, because he's on your naughty list, right?
That's right. That's right, Phil Taylor.
Uh-huh.
And I don't want to tear this bag, but I can't untie this string
I
very
see.
easily.
CC is
You might
reaching
have
for
better
a pocket
dexterity,
Yeah.
Santa, if you take your gloves off.
No, no, no.
He's really committed to the bit.
Maybe Brody can help you.
Now, what do we have here? Oh, there's 2 items in this
Okay.
bag for Randall.
You don't think Randall will mind that you're opening his gift?
I don't really like the guy. And
So,
we have
opening gift
here.
1.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. It's a hams. Ooh, it's a ham special
Not
item.
just
wow.
any
Oh
hams.
my goodness gracious!
One of the rarest beers in the world.
Oh my goodness gracious!
A ham special light.
Is this really for me?
Yes, of course
I know
that's
that
for
you
you.
only have a very limited supply of these.
Well, I had to get that one. I had to open up my third to last case. I'm
Oh.
now in my last 3 cases. But you cherish that, Randall.
I
You,
will.
You open that on a special occasion, maybe Christmas
is it
Day.
cold? I can't feel it through my
it's not
gloves.
cold.
Oh.
It is not-
Oh, that's too bad. Because if it was, I would say in the Christmas spirit, we could
Oh.
crack it open right now, and everybody
Oh,
could
wow.
to taste what one of those tastes like.
Oh my goodness! And a pack of basketball cards.
Not
wow.
just any pack of basketball cards. I went into my collection and I pulled out all of the worst cards, which are coaches.
You-
Anytime when you were a kid, you'd get a
great.
pack of cards.
Oh, yeah.
You would frown if you saw a coach in there.
a Don Nelson?
A Don,
Oh.
not just one Don Nelson. There are many Don Nelson.
Jim Boeheim?
Of course, Jim Boeheim is in there. And if you look, Santa,
A Darvin Ham Nuggets
a
card?
Darvin Ham. I believe it's a Darvin Ham rookie Nuggets card.
Oh.
I have every coach for the Bucks in there, going back to for the Mavs. Every Mavs coach going back to 1997. Randall Claus.
Another Don Nelson
Another
card.
Don Nelson card. That's
Another
right.
Don Nelson card.
Don Nelson was a popular card in my collecting era.
Oh, what a thoughtful gift.
Now,
This-
Santa, what will you do with those cards?
Well, I'll try to keep them all on the table with my limited dexterity. I'll put them on the shelf in my office and just point them out as sort of a curiosity to anyone that comes in.
Your office at the North Pole.
That's
you mean.
correct.
Uh-huh. He'll flip through them when he drinks his ham special light.
And I'll just reflect on all the humorous, short-lived coaching stints that have characterized the modern NBA.
Now, don't go driving your sleigh after you've tossed this hams back.
Oh, the reindeer do all the steering.
Oh.
But speaking of the North Pole, it's time I head back that way before I overheat in this suit. So, can I leave Randall's gifts here?
You could leave his gifts here. We'll get those to him.
And
we'll make sure.
I'll just go on my merry way then.
Okay. Well, thank you, Santa and Brody and Corey. We hope everyone is as joyful as we were come Christmas morning.
Darn right.
Merry
that was super
Christmas,
good. Thank you,
everyone.
To all,
Santa.
and
Merry-
happy Radio Live.
Oh, thanks for Santa.
Thank you, Randall Claus.
Santa's got to take off his headset.
Thank you, Santa. We will catch up with Brody and Corey later, and we will get back to our regularly scheduled Radio Live events.
I mean, considering how many podcasts there are in the world now that Santa's opened himself up to one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's tough biz.
Listen, we've been trying to get some big, famous guests on this podcast lately, and we just got the biggest of them all.
Hard to top. Hard to top.
Especially this time of year.
That's
Oh.
right. Phil, let's take some break for some listener feedback. What's the chat have to say about Santa's
I think the
appearance?
chat was just so caught up in all the festivities that we haven't gotten a lot of questions. So please throw in some questions here. But we do have a question from Leland Hart. He asks, will anyone in the crew be scoring a javelina skull now that Boone and Crockett just announced they will accept them?
I've never killed a javelina.
I've never killed a javelina either, and I would like to get one. Yes.
Yanni?
Oh, well, we're going to have some javelina tags in Mexico in January. So
Okay.
Cal's going to be able to kill his first one. I have killed one. I don't believe it was any sort of a special specimen. So I will not be scoring the skull. I don't know. I'm not a huge scorer. I score every now and then just so I know kind of like what, when someone says
Sure.
it's X big, I know what I'm looking at. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully B&C gets something out of having Boone and Crockett javelina measurements.
And friend of the show, Jim Heffelfinger, I think he was a big part of getting that across the finish line, that javelina would be a Boone and Crockett animal.
You know what Giannis just said? Like it is very helpful to occasionally score something. It anchors your reference points, right? And we scored a not very great looking bull rack, officially for non-official scorers, where we were taking it serious and doing it the right way for once. And we were shocked. My buddy shot a bull the last day archery season.
Okay.
Was more happy about just getting a bull the last day archery season than getting this particular bull. Just skull capped the thing. It was sitting in his cabin when we showed up on the floor, leaning up against a pile of sheds. And we were like, oh, God, real long main beams. But yeah, not all that big. But oh boy, the mass is kind of nice. And then you're kind of like looking at it, and we finally scored the thing, and it was a legit, just a shade under 360,
What did you think he was going to be?
like 330,
Okay.
right?
good to
Because
know.
you're just like nothing really stood out as that impressive. But the width measurement and the
The mass will hide sometimes a lot
Sure.
of the other measurements.
Yeah.
This makes it easier to communicate. I saw a 140-inch buck today. I saw a 300-inch bull. What else you got, Phil?
Brady, a question for Cal. Thoughts on pampering hunting dogs? Gramps always claimed it will ruin them.
Boy, Brady, I think the best thing that you can do is have a dog that sleeps outside. I mean, really, really do. And my dog does not. She's firmly wedged into the bed often before I get there. But I think, yeah, it just builds up their cold tolerance for sure. They get a much different coat if they're in like an insulated dog house outside. I think that's one of the better things that you can do for them. But, outside of that, I think the more time that you can spend with them, which would be pampering in some folks' eyes, can really help that communication bond and a lot of the hunting aspects that you can run into.
Cal goes for both ends of the spectrum. He lets Snort sleep inside, but also lets Snort get bit by rattlesnakes. So,
Yep.
little yin and yang.
No relationship comes without risk.
Phil?
Yeah, we'll do one more. Has anyone here ever made a wild duck down pillow?
No.
Is that something you would even recommend doing?
There is such a thing. I mean, like the down that you get in your sleeping bags and stuff. That is cooked in order to kill, natural parasites, or fumigated in some fashion, which is something that you could definitely do at home. I know my grandma did do this, so it's absolutely doable.
Yeah, I've just heard that the cleaning process is just a real pain in the tush.
Yeah, because you're not looking for feathers in general. You're looking for the down feathers, so there's some separation there. So
Anything else, Phil?
Yeah, we'll hold off on some until the end of the show. But yeah, please keep those questions coming in.
Phil, I just want to make you see that later on in the show here, we have 1 minute fishing. Did you talk to who we're calling about that?
Yes, I
okay.
did.
Just making sure that we're
Yes.
on the same page. All right,
Yes, they are
moving
prepped.
on. Our next segment is Top Threes.
Whoa, nailed it.
Wow. Phil and his falsetto.
Phil, we have a very not invite only, but our house isn't huge, but we hold a party every winter. Spencer's been once. And I feel bad because I can't invite everybody because we just don't have enough room. And I like to invite people that would enjoy the activities that we do at the party, which is basically ringing in the new year with some Latvian pagan-like traditions. One of the things is singing. And so I got to thinking today, because I was telling someone else about it, I was like, Phil would be a great person to have at the party. Because then if you have somebody that can sing at that level,
Sure.
everybody feels a little more comfortable singing along.
Yeah, you could use a tenor there. There's a lot of basses and baritones.
Right.
So Phil would bring some much needed.
Yeah, a lot of monotones, a lot of no tones.
Giannis, I would love to. Yeah, anytime you'd have me over.
Okay,
Sounds
well,
like a blast.
yeah, we'd invite you and your entire family. It's a kid-friendly event.
But we need to hear your wife's voice first.
No.
There's tryouts.
As long as she will just sing along.
your kids get to play with molten lead.
No, I think unfortunately we're squashing
bit
that.
retired?
Really? It's
The
done?
modern world caught up with that pagan ritual.
Yanni, we display our lead that we threw each Christmas. We put it up.
Oh, I like to hear that, but last year I think there was kind of enough griping that we've decided to squash the lead pouring.
Well, glad I got to see it in its heyday then.
Yeah.
All right, this week we are ranking the 3 best Christmas gifts we've ever received. Cal, you go first. What is the 3rd best Christmas gift you've ever gotten?
I got a
Third best.
I don't like.
You want me to
He's
go?
acting like I didn't email him 2 days ago and say, hey, this is a segment we're doing.
Yeah, I don't really like splitting them up. I got prime rib roast from my mom one time. That was pretty bitchin'.
Okay.
Pretty
like
great.
a big old 20-pound chunk of meat.
like a 4 rib roast, You know, I mean, like that runs you like 90 some bucks at the grocery store, right?
yeah.
So I mean, that's a nice gift, and having that big corn-fed fat beef is a pretty serious treat when your diets are as lean as ours are.
So when did you cook it up then? What occasion did you save it for?
I think I ultimately cut it into steaks to kind of make it last longer.
Okay.
And then every once in a while I would grill up a big fat steak. Covered
Yanni?
in jalapenos.
3rd best Christmas gift you've ever received.
Man, I'm with Cal. It's hard to really rank these.
Does that mean you're unprepared?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of good. I've received a lot. The more I thought about it, I'm like, man, there's been so many good ones. But it's also been over the course of 46 years. But a Christmas gift that I still receive annually, I hope to receive it again this year, is that my in-laws usually roll in or send us home if we're spending the holidays in North Carolina with a cooler full of headed shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do with them?
Eat them.
Oh, well, beyond that.
Like what kind of
How
recipes?
do you cook them? When do you cook them? Is that like a thing you eat on Christmas?
I mean, there's a lot. So we like to share it with other, folks that would enjoy eating some shrimp. But often we just do a shrimp cocktail. We fry a lot of shrimp. We might just do like a boil and toss them in some hot Cajun butter kind of a thing, and do peel and eats. We keep it pretty simple. I don't get too fancy with the shrimp.
You think they're bringing you some this year?
I don't know. I don't ask.
Del, this is a good way to.
I'm crossing my fingers.
This is a good way to encourage them. Tell them that your third best gift you've ever received is shrimp.
Oh yeah, no, they're very aware that we are very appreciative of that freezer stuffer.
All right, third best gift I've ever received was some Cabela's waders from my parents in high school. I was driving a Chevy Cavalier at the time, which is just a 2-door little car, not a lot of room. So I could fit those in my trunk, and it unlocked a lot of fishing, a lot of hunting, and specifically bow fishing was my favorite thing at the time. So I could fit my bow fishing rig and my waders in the trunk, and that allowed me to kill hundreds of carp. Really satisfied me in high school. So those waders, I got a lot of mileage out of them. Third
That's
best
good.
gift I ever received. I'm gonna do my second one too. It was.
Well, do we get to ask Phil? Does Phil get a play?
Oh well, Phil was just doing some technical adjustments over here. Phil, you can play along.
Oh, I did not do the homework, Spencer. But maybe if you come back to me, I'll think.
Okay, we'll swing by him at the end here. Second best gift I ever received was my first trail camera. It was from my wife. She was my girlfriend at the time in college, and that was a Moultrie M100. I still remember what it was. It would have been like 2011. And that was when trail cameras started to get really good and really affordable. I don't know if you guys ever dabbled with trail cameras like 20 years ago, but they were even more expensive than they are now, and they performed really poorly. And that was right about the time. That was like a tipping point, around 2010, 2012, when trail cameras got really good and anybody could walk into a Cabela's and buy one with some confidence. So that didn't make me a better deer hunter, but it made me a more excited deer hunter. Was getting first trail camera. So I'd say that's the second best Christmas gift I've ever received. Cal, your second best Christmas gift.
I would say I got my first semi-auto shotgun, Winchester Super X2, which is still like a fantastic waterfowl semi-auto shotgun if you can find one. I recently saw that thing on some lists of like used shotguns to look out for, and it's fantastic shotgun. I shot the heck out of that thing.
What were you shooting before that?
Winchester 1300.
Okay.
Which you used to be able to get for like $150, and it would come with a case of shells. And would just shoot those things until they fell apart. There's something with the arms on the slide that at some point that metal would just weaken and snap off. Yeah.
What
so I
age
went through
were
a
you?
couple of those.
What age were you then when you got that semi-auto?
Probably 20.
It's a good gift to be getting a semi-auto.
Oh,
It's a good time to be getting
Huge.
a semi-auto shotgun.
Huge, yeah.
Yanni, second best Christmas gift you've ever received.
Also a firearm.
Oh.
My dad gave me a Remington 700 chambered. I believe it was the BDL, which has the detachable, or not detachable, just has the hinged floor plate. But chambered in 30-06.
Okay.
And
How old were you?
Probably 14, 15-ish. Because we couldn't hunt with a rifle in Michigan, but we could in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And so I think then, like the next year, I went and killed my first buck with that rifle in Wisconsin.
Well, I'm going to give my number one. It was also a Remington 700.
Hey.
From my parents in high school. I think I'd have been like 15 years old. That was a 308 that I got. And that was the gun that I used to kill my first antelope, my first elk, my first mule deer. That was the rifle that allowed me to, I guess, become more of a generalist hunter beyond just a whitetail guy. I was having my very own rifle, and it was a 308 and a Remington 700. It just worked good for everything. So Yanni's second best gift ever was a Remington 700. My best gift ever, Remington 700. Yanni, what was the best gift you ever got?
My youngest daughter was born December 5th, which is an early Christmas present. But Jennifer reminded me this morning that she was supposed to be a Thanksgiving baby. And she was quite a bit late.
Okay.
And which usually doesn't make the carrier of said baby happy. But it was a very nice gift. 2 weeks later, we drove from where were we? We were living in Salt Lake. We drove to Michigan. And so that was 2013. I forget what they called it. It wasn't the polar vortex that went down into Texas or whatever, but it was a storm that came into the Midwest, and it literally just put a sheet of ice, basically from somewhere in the Dakotas all the way into the Great Lakes states, and some of the craziest, scariest driving I've ever experienced. There was a moment.
How far of a drive?
Long enough we had to stay overnight.
Oh, okay.
2 days of driving. And to do that with a two-week-old baby in the middle of winters, maybe not, wasn't a good decision.
Yeah.
But there was a moment where I drove through very slowly through a recently happened accident where there was multiple cars, stuff littered on the highway. And I just was like, I think the best idea is just to keep weaving and moving. Don't touch the brakes, don't hit the gas, and just get away from all of this. But it was pretty intense.
So she was a better Christmas gift than your rifle Dad gave you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cal, best Christmas gift you ever received, and then we're going to hear from Phil the engineer.
I think so. My mom, and it'd be. I can't really remember if it was. I think it may have been more of a birthday present, but sometimes a Christmas present would be renewal subscriptions to Outdoor Life and Field and Stream. And my dad, it's a combo deal, collected works of Jack London. It's a big, thick book.
Okay.
But both of those were, definitely the things that I would read that were just because I really didn't have anybody that was really enamored with hunting and fishing in my social circle, growing up, So there were folks who dabbled in it, but wasn't. That was my main resource, right? It's and not internet stuff or anything like that. That just wasn't part of the learning experience at that point. So.
Okay. Well, if anyone out there is shopping for a gift for the three of us, you could get us a gun, books, or a child. That's at the top of our list.
Yeah, but number 3 is good too, which would be food.
Yeah, I mean, food. Really, it's such a good gift. I mean, look at this.
Brody Henderson mule deer brats.
Yeah, and anybody who does this stuff knows that sausage is expensive. Whether you make it on your own or pay to have it done, it ain't cheap. It's time and money, and it's arguably the most expensive thing in your freezer, and it's almost always the thing that I give away. And I mean, ducks make people very happy too. For those of you who can appreciate a good duck.
That's right. I was gonna add to that and say that I ain't giving a duck to nobody.
Oh, dude, it
just anybody.
Especially a plucked one like that.
Oh,
yeah. If Brody, I know that when he thaws that thing out, it will be treated properly. It will be enjoyed.
Yep.
But I can't say that about everybody.
Yeah.
Phil the engineer is a Remington 700 also at the top of your list.
It's not, no. And also both my kids were born in the spring, so I don't have that cop out either.
Cop out.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm going to be honest.
Thank you, Cal. I mean, this is easy. I mean, number 3, PlayStation 2. That was in the year 2000. Number 2, probably the Game Boy Advance in 1998. And number 1's PlayStation 1. I think that was 97.
Hell yeah, Phil.
Hell yeah.
All right, moving on. Our next segment is Meat Poll.
I said, show me your meat, boys, and take my poll. Welcome to MeatEater Radio. I got a game to play.
Oh, yeah, whiteboards.
Oh, whiteboards.
All right, Meat Poll is a test of how much you know about your fellow hunters and anglers. I surveyed 500 MeatEater listeners about personal preferences and personal experiences. Your job is to predict their answers. There are 3 questions. Whoever is closest to the correct answer between Cal and Giannis gets a point. Whoever gets 2 points will be the winner. And everyone in the chat should play along as well, because Phil is going to watch for your answers and give a shout out to whoever is closest. You boys ready?
Yeah, I'm having a little Christmas cookie.
All right, the first question. What percentage of MeatEater listeners plan to serve wild game on Christmas this year? So you're going to write down a number as a percent. What percentage of MeatEater listeners plan to serve wild game on Christmas this year?
Can't believe you guys thought that was a cop-out.
I mean, December 5th. It's closer to Thanksgiving, Yanni.
It is, but...
Cal, what are you serving on Christmas this year?
Well, I'm definitely be cooking some wild game on Christmas. Haven't cleared that with the program manager yet.
Oh, okay.
But Christmas Eve, I have a whole antelope ham that I'm gonna, make all super nice in the smoker. Get a good salty, briny crust on there. And
When do
then
you got to start on that then?
I'll do that Christmas Eve morning.
Okay.
And then do like hard rolls and a couple little sandwich spread sauces.
You're only going to brine it for a day?
No, so what I like to do is just do like a salt rub the night before, and then, which is a brine, and then put it on the pellet grill, and then make a mop. So it's hard with a pellet grill because you lose so much heat, but like just 325-ish, and then do like a rosemary, thyme, garlic, more salt, butter, and olive oil, and then mop that on that roast over and over again, like every 20 minutes, and it really extends the cooking time, but you get this nice, like salty crust on there. It's kind of like Mediterranean style. You could put tzatziki out, something like that, but and it works awesome with antelope specifically. But then folks can kind of build their own little sandwiches. And then I'm going to make a huge thing of poke out of a chunk of the yellowfin that we got from MeatEater Experiences. And then I might do meatballs too, some fresh ground elk meatballs and a nice homemade marinara sauce in a crock pot.
I'm guessing that you must be hosting.
Well, my Uncle Mike's hosting. And in his words, this is one of the original Cal Callahans. In his words, I'm providing the house and I will buy whatever you tell me. He's like, that's all I can contribute, which is a huge contribution.
Is
right?
he the program manager, or that's referring to someone else?
That's referring to somebody else on Christmas Day.
Got it.
There's Christmas Day responsibilities, but my Christmas Eve responsibilities are helping provide the food for 18 people.
Whoa.
My Uncle Mike's hosting. He'll buy some of the beer and the booze, and then he likes to do not a bouillabaisse. What's the other seafood kind of stew? Chowder, not chowder.
It starts with a C. It's like a French.
Yeah,
Cioppino?
Yeah,
Cioppino. Thank you. Good job, team.
Italian.
Yeah.
So, Cal, you better get that paperwork submitted then to the program manager so you can figure out Christmas Day. Again, the question they're answering is what percentage of MeatEater listeners plan to serve wild game on Christmas this year? Are you two ready? Reveal your answers. Cal says 86%.
Ooh, Cal.
Giannis says 65%. The correct
I thought
answer
I was high.
is 44.7, meaning Yanni takes the first point of the game.
I think that's directly proportionate, reflective of people who were successful and were not successful in their hunting season.
We had Jerry in the chat saying 45.
45. Well done, Jerry.
Jerry
Only
nails it.
2.7 points off. A 2020 YouGov poll looked at the most popular Christmas dishes in America. They found that turkey, prime rib, roast beef, steak, chicken, pork loin, and ham are the favorites, while goose, duck, lamb, and fish had the lowest approval ratings.
I got a good Christmas duck story. We still tell it. I think that the details in the story have been skewed, and if my brother was here, he could better tell the story. But the short version of it is, excuse me, we're at my grandmother's in Chicago, and she cooked duck for Christmas. And she
Where'd the
could-
duck come from?
Like a farm
the
duck?
grocery store?
Farm duck, yep. And she was a good cook, considered herself a good cook, and took a lot of pride in, decorating for the holidays and having just a supreme spread. And it's whenever it's served, we sit down, it's duck, it looks beautiful, and my brother asked for ketchup. And that did not go over well with Grandma. And I don't forget exactly, what happened after that. But
Did he get his ketchup?
I don't even remember that part. I just remember that he asked for it, and that's when the shit storm
That'd make my
started.
mom lose it. She'd be visibly angered.
Question 2. What percentage of MeatEater listeners have killed a deer on Christmas Day? Again, Yanni took the first point. He was closest on figuring out what percentage of listeners are serving wild game on Christmas this year. Now we're on question 2. What percentage of MeatEater listeners have killed a deer on Christmas Day? Have either of you killed a deer on Christmas Day?
Plenty of birds.
Okay.
I don't believe so. I just killed my first deer on Thanksgiving Day this year, which I thought was kind of fun and cool,
Yeah.
I didn't even think I'd ever be hunting on Thanksgiving Day, let alone get lucky enough to kill a deer.
Why do you think you'd ever hunt on Thanksgiving Day?
Well, because usually I was never in a spot where that was, like, I know for some people that's just tradition, right? That,
Yeah.
like, Thanksgiving Day you're out hunting. But
Sure.
I don't know, for us, we're usually just with, I don't know, maybe I'm not remembering things correctly, because maybe I've been on a squirrel hunt Thanksgiving Day, now that I think about it. But anyways, I'm hoping to make it a tradition.
Yeah.
Again, what percentage of listeners have killed a deer on Christmas Day? Are you two ready?
Yeah.
Oh, man. According to our folks writing in, I am way high.
Go ahead and reveal your answers. Cal says 11%. Yanni says 7%. One of you is within 1% of the correct answer. The correct answer is 6.2%.
There's a lot of
Yanni.
sixes up
Yeah,
there.
I forgot you guys can see me
Damn,
starring
you
things
nailed
over
it.
here, but guess what? We had 3 people get it right on the
Whoa.
money. We had Benjamin say 6'2".
Damn, Ben.
Scuba Steve said 6'2",
Well
and
done,
Dan
Steve.
Garrett said 6'2".
Hell yeah, Dan.
Man.
The chat is
I think
on
what
it.
we've learned here is I believe more in our audience than our audience does.
Alabama has one of the most unique ruts in North America, with peak rut dates ranging from mid-November to mid-February. And according to Deer Fetal Collections, Christmas Day is actually peak rut in some parts of the state.
Ooh.
Here's question 3. We already know Yanni won it, but we're going to look at this last one anyway. What percentage of MeatEater listeners think Giannis is a better gift giver than Cal?
Oh, how would they even know?
How would they
they've
even
been
know?
consuming content with you two for years, and they've maybe gathered
better-
some info in that time. What percentage of listeners think Yanni is a better gift giver than Cal? Yanni, who do you think is a better gift giver?
I don't know.
What did
I
you-
think we
what did
both
you give
we,
this year?
Kinda on
we
the same
both
page
did
as
really
far as-
good.
Yeah.
Oh, you gave ducks.
And Cal gave a nice little
Uh-huh.
like I don't know what you call
Bouquet of
that. It's a kit of everyday
useful items.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it hasn't been 2 weeks since the last time someone at my house was like, I can't find the super glue,
There you
and now
go.
we'll have an extra tube kicking around.
Yeah.
Both gave good gifts.
And I thought
today.
the salve too is I was looking for bag balm, but they didn't have it at the grocery store. So because that's helpful stuff, especially for Yanni's running career.
So what
in
percentage
cold, dry weather.
of listeners think Yanni is a better gift giver than Cal? Are you two
So
ready?
if I was to say 10%, that would mean that 90% of them thought that Cal was a better.
That's correct.
Gift giver.
We
Okay.
surveyed 500 people to get this answer.
Wow.
Better gift giver.
God, John Flynn says 110% of the people think you're a better gift giver than I am.
Are you ready, Yanni?
Sure.
Reveal
John,
your
you go out and
answers.
buy your own stuff, okay?
Cal says 54% of listeners think Yanni is a better gift giver than Cal. And Yanni says 80% of listeners think Yanni is a better gift giver than
Yeah,
Cal.
this is not a reflection of what I think.
Oh,
This is what
okay.
I think the listeners think.
Well, it's a clean sweep for Yanni this week. 73.1% of listeners said they think Yanni is a better gift giver.
Yeah, we had Evan guessing 73.5. So he was
Wow.
very close.
Good work,
Well
Evan.
done,
Thank you.
Evan. Yanni is our winner of this week's game of Meat Pool. All right, next
It's
up.
a fun game, Spencer.
Thank
That
you,
is a fun
Yanni. I think it fits into radio well. Next up, we are doing 1 minute fishing.
Do I feel lucky?
Oh, boy.
Punk. Go ahead. Make my cast.
For folks who don't know, that percentage game is something that we started doing at the live podcast, live tour, and it is pretty fun to be able to stare out at the audience and be like, 54% of this crowd. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We learn a lot about folks in Anaheim and Salt Lake City and Missoula. My favorite question to ask was what percentage of people think that their state game agency is corrupt?
Yeah.
And it's often more than half in any state you're in. All right, 1 minute fishing is where we go live to someone who's fishing and they have 1 minute to catch a fish. And if they're successful, we'll make a $500 donation to a conservation group. This week, our angler is Santa Claus, who's at an undisclosed location somewhere in the northern hemisphere. And he's fishing for a donation to the Theodore Roosevelt Conservation Partnership. Oh, he's even in a boat? I didn't know Santa was going to be in a boat.
Hello, boys. How are you today?
Wow.
Well, you just saw us, Santa, don't you know?
I'm everywhere all at once. That's how this whole thing works.
You got it someplace sunny.
Oh, it's extremely hot out here. I thought it'd be cooler than it was in the podcast studio, but I'm still uncomfortable in my suit.
How did you transport your canoe, Santa?
By sleigh, of course.
Oh, of course.
I mean, that makes sense.
Santa is in an actual canoe. He has found soft water somewhere here in the Gallatin Valley, unless he went somewhere else totally. He does have a sleigh to transport himself. And
He
he's
might
wearing-
be on ice. I don't see any ripples coming off that canoe.
It's mostly hard water, but there's a little bit of soft water, and we didn't
Okay.
feel comfortable getting on the ice today. Safety
Okay,
first,
and he's-
kid.
He is being safe. He has a little orange life vest on that I don't know if that's going to work if we get in an emergency.
It doesn't
All right, Santa
bubble
Claus.
around my body.
Okay.
But it is legal.
Santa Claus, what are we fishing for today?
We're fishing for some perch, I'm told.
Okay, and what tactics are you using?
We've got a little jig head here, a little sort of a fire tiger type jig head with some mealworms from a
Okay,
local
Santa.
sporting goods store.
Well, maybe the MeatEater flagship store in downtown Bozeman, because they do sell bait. So if you're in the Gallatin Valley and you find that you need some bait, swing into the MeatEater store. Okay, Santa Claus, your 1 minute starts whenever you make your first cast.
Okay.
Oh, is that his
Let's go,
ham
Santa.
special light at his feet?
Well, his ham special light is sitting right here, so he
No,
must have a
it's
different.
That's a different beer.
Okay, Santa Claus is now jigging. It's a very gentle motion he's using.
It's a pretty aggressive jig, though.
Oh, sure, yeah. That is a short rod that he has as well. It's like
It's got to fit in the sleigh, Spencer.
something between an ice fishing pole and a regular old jigging pole.
You don't think that's the ice fishing rod?
It looks. I mean, it looks.
An ice fishing rod. It's just curious
Did you
because we're not ice.
You're 30 seconds in.
Did you see that fella running behind him?
Santa is somewhere.
Just looking at Santa's jigging motion here, I don't think old St. Nick's a real perch fisherman.
Well, you can give us some tips. He's got 10 seconds left.
The shaky wrist.
Slow it down a little bit, Santa.
Yeah, act
Let
like
him eat
you
it.
drank way too much the night before and your hands are shaking.
All right,
Well, it looks like he might
Santa.
have a drink near his boot down there. I don't know what's.
He did mention some eggnog.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Your 1 minute is over, but he's still fishing anyway. Santa, I'm disappointed we couldn't make it happen for the Christmas episode of MeatEater Radio Live.
Although I do believe in the magic of Christmas, I did not have a lot of confidence that this would work.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us, Randall Claus. Where are you off to next? Where are we going to see you after this?
I hope Chipotle on the way back to the office.
And he did not bring a change of clothes, so you may actually see him in Chipotle. All right, see you later, Santa.
Thanks, Santa.
Okay, that brings us to the end of
goodness.
this week's show. Phil, let's get some final feedback from the chat.
Oh, it's over already?
Oh,
It's
sure.
over already. It's been
over. Didn't
55
that
minutes.
Fly by? Wow. Mogor asks, hey, Spencer, when you found out that your favorite beer was going out of production, how much did you stockpile for yourself? Thank you for your answer. I think you've talked about this before, but it's been a while, right?
Yeah, so it was, there were rumors that it was happening for a while, so I spent like a year just collecting, and I had like people in my network, my family and my friends, also trying to get it. Yeah, because, well, they don't sell any of it in Montana either. When they did sell ham special lights, it's like sort of a Great Lakes, Midwestern thing, maybe in the Northeast as well, but we didn't have it this far west. So I was really stockpiling it, and you would see in Facebook groups when someone would post like the Walmart in Mitchell, South Dakota just got more ham special light. I'd had a small but loyal following.
What kind of a Facebook group? Like a hams?
A hams Facebook group, yeah. And again, there were rumors for a while that this was going to happen. How it worked was during COVID, Molson Coors, who I think is the larger entity that brews hams and ham special lights, they cut back production during COVID, like a lot of places had to. And when they did that, they realized, hey, maybe we don't have to sell all of these niche beers anymore because it's not really affecting our bottom line. And so they cut 13 of their products. One of them was sadly the ham special light. So I am down to my third to last case. I think by the time it was formally announced that they were canceling it, I had like 10 cases left. So it's we're down to the last.
But you were
straw.
telling us the other day that they've outlived their shelf life.
Yeah, so people are always in my Instagram comments like, beer don't keep, those things got to be green. I get that, but you know what's better than no ham special light is a slightly off ham special light. So they are starting to taste slightly different, just a more mature beer now. You got to drink them ice cold. You don't drink a ham special light at room temperature anymore. What else we got, Phil?
Ben's asking, tomorrow's my birthday and I'm Spencer's #1 fan. Can he send me a personalized message from his hot tub? Do you have a Cameo account, Spencer? Have you thought about starting one?
No. Ben is someone I went to high school with.
Oh.
So it's just it's a little prank from Ben. Yeah, I'll send you a message, Ben, from the hot tub.
That's a whole different revenue stream. Thoughts from Spencer's hot tub.
That'd be good.
Yeah, we'll give the money to conservation.
Leland asks, what is better to prep for quail hunting, skeet or trap? What hunting style does each prep for better?
What do you got, Cal?
I mean, whatever you can make time for sure. More shooting in the off season develops muscle memory, and yeah, I mean that is the #1 thing: is mounting that gun the same way every single time and shooting from your toes, not your heels. An aggressive stance, and you can hone that skill way better in the off season than you can during the hunting season. Yeah, boy, the sporting clays. If you can make it out to sporting clays, that's a great way to do it because you just see a bunch of different angles and go, try to make some time to do it when it's not busy and you can spend time at different stations playing them over and over again for those tricky shots.
But maybe for quail, the trap, just because it comes out from under your feet, kind of, right?
Yeah. If you had to pick one, yeah.
Because it's not like you're going to get a big passing shot on a quill.
No, not. I mean, it all happens out there, but yeah, I think if you're flushing birds, they're typically going to come out and go away from you.
Phil, anything else?
Yeah, we can do one more. Bradley asks, where do you do most of your Christmas shopping for your significant other? I bought most of my presents at Menards this year.
Nice.
You guys have like go-to outlets for your girlfriend or wife?
Bradley is he's a good Midwesterner going to Menards. You save big money there. You got to send in.
Oh,
your
and look,
rebates.
he's a big trapper skeet guy, judging by his picture there. No, I don't. I didn't. I bought very few gifts this year. Everybody has what they need in my house.
There you go. I got my wife's gift from eBay this year, but she might be listening, so I'm not going to say what it is. Cal, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, boy, I think actions over more stuff. Everybody has access to stuff at all the time these days. So
sure, could be the action of buying something.
There's a list of things that I need to get done that would make somebody very happy.
Oh, buddy, tell me about that.
Phil, what else you got?
How about we call the show, guys?
Okay. Well, we just hit minute 60, and I can hear
Merry Christmas,
there's
Phil.
an all-company meeting happening upstairs.
That's right.
Now.
Oh, right now. You're right.
Yep, St. Nick may need to get to that, too.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for tuning in.
And Phil, next week we do not have a show.
Yes, next
Is that
week
correct?
we're dropping a couple of episodes of the Kids podcast on the MeatEater feed, but there are even more over on the MeatEater Kids feed. So if you're a parent and you're listening to this show right now, go subscribe to the new feed if you haven't done that already. But we'll be dropping a few more episodes, and then we will also be back with a new episode on January 2nd, but it will be pre-taped. So it'll be live streamed, but it'll be pre-recorded. So, but then after that, we're live again for the foreseeable future.
All right. Merry Christmas. We'll see you back here in the new year.
Have fun.